Picking up action in the first drive since the start of the half. Flowers just carried for his 58th yard. It is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line of Duke. Clemson leading at 24-10 on the move here in the beginning moments of the second half. Flowers on the ball carrier, and he makes it to the 30-yard line. Jerome Lay making the stop. 6'6", 280-pound senior.
Swing and cheat him on that play, Art. Great blocking on the right side of the offensive line, clearing it out for Flowers, and that's been the key here. They've opened up great holes all day, Clemson has, and they've moved the defense back without any penetration, giving the offense in Clemson a lot of room to work.
Second down, 4 yards to go for the first down at the 30-yard line. Williams in motion. Epley hands to his lone remaining running back, and that's Kevin Mack, and he just simply pulls his way. I think he might have got the first down on a second and third effort before Ralph Alderman finally hog-tied him and brought him down.
Alderman, number 99, and you see one of the reasons they like 240-pound linebackers. Now, Alderman only 212 pounds, and Mack about the same size, 200 pounds, able to carry him. The running backs have those great legs, those strong legs, and he was able to get up close to the first down marker.
Mack, that was his 13th carry, now has 122 yards in this ball game. Close enough to measure? Very close. Just inches short of the first down. That brings on Igwebuike. Correction. Flowers and Mack on the 3rd and 1. Wilbur Bullard, number 8.
Bullard was a tailback first 5 games of the year, and now he's been moved to the wing. It shows you how much talent they really have on the Clemson backfield to be able to move Bullard outside.
Igwebuike is number 18. Bullard number 8. As he comes in, he's on the wing on the right side. Epley just making the sure thing. Quarterback sneak to the 25, inside the 25-yard line. A beautiful block by James Farr to get him that far.
On the quarterback sneak, what you try to do is create a hole any way you can, a seam for the quarterback to just fall into. Farr went one step further. He created a large hole, and Epley was able to pick up not only the first down, but a few yards, too.
Third carry for Epley, 7 yards, including 1 touchdown on the ground. Boyer, your wide receiver, along with Ray Williams. It's Boyer in motion. Mack, the lone running back, but Epley goes very nicely to Williams, and Williams going for the first down, breaks the tackle, and he's out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Glenn Barner defensively tried to get him early, and he slipped by.
Williams, just a freshman. You see him right there. In fact, you see Farr there, and that's interesting. The offensive guard all the way down there. That ball was thrown behind the line of scrimmage and on the proper side of the receiver, leaning him into the line so he had momentum going towards the goal line. And James Farr, as great as he is, was out in front of him blocking.
Epley 5 of 7 now, Kevin, for 88 yards. That was a bullet to Williams. First down and goal at the 3. Flowers, he's hit hard, still on his feet, and scrambles down to the 1-yard line. Oh, he kept his balance nicely after he was hit by Bonacani, the linebacker. Finally, Alderman, another linebacker, making the stop at about the 1-yard line.
Well, that was a great hit, and you talk about size. We talked about Bonacani being 187 pounds. Not terribly big. Flowers is not a really large back, but the backs have the good balance. You see him right there. Flowers has good balance. He's able to slip off the tackles and keep those legs driving. He gains yardage. Flowers,
the tailback behind Mack, the fullback here on the goal line play. Flowers with 67 yards in this ball game. From the 1, a second down play. Flowers to the outside. He could waltz him. Touchdown, Clemson. So if there was any question about Clemson coming out flat, I think we've just answered it.
It's just too much talent on the Clemson team. Their program is so strong. Flowers, you see there, just one of a few tailbacks on this team that can do a lot of damage. Driver doesn't even start. He rushes for near 100 yards last week. You've got Flagler on the injured list. Maybe redshirted. He opened up with 200 yards in the first 2 games, 200 yards plus. So they've got the talent, a heck of a lot more than Duke.
Mr. Automatic out of Peretti's hole, puts it up, and it is good. So Pauling puts another point on the board for Clemson. With 11:10 remaining to be played here in the 3rd quarter, Clemson 31-10 over Duke. In 9 plays, the Tigers moved 78 yards. They've had some beautiful, long, sustained drives in this contest. So far, they've been unable to return any of his kickoffs in this ball game. It is deep, and right at the backside of the end zone. Atkinson, or I should say Grantham, decides not to bring it out, number 25. So Duke has a long way to go for points now. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Bennett in this ball game is 12 out of 18 for 123 yards in the first half. There you see the scoring drive that Flowers capped off with the touchdown run to the outside. Herring, and Militello, the wide receivers for Duke. Ebinger, All-American candidate at center, gets bowled over.
He should get a trophy for that play right there. Just sitting on the ground. You know, when Bennett does that and he nods his head, as you just saw him nod his head, it's Ebinger that's going to get it, because Perry's the one that's jumping off sides. And when Perry's frustration builds, as it is, as he gets called for offsides, he's going to take it out on the guy right in front of him who can't move an inch while Bennett makes those signal calls. So I have to give Ebinger a heck of a lot of credit.
And that's why he's not only all ACC, but also up in line for an All-American type honors. 19,300 fans here at the stadium as Bennett gets it away, and it's complete at the 36-yard line to Militello.
Two receivers in the same area. Grayson was underneath there. You may have seen as the ball went over. There's Grayson standing right in front of you on the screen, number 27. Davis was on defense there, but the ball went right over Grayson's head and into Militello's hands.
Tyrone Davis making the tackle as the hanky goes into the air once again. You see the tremendous amount of yardage that Clemson has absorbed in this ball game through the penalty route. 11 calls for 82 yards. Duke penalties have been key as they've been penalized 30 yards in very inopportune times for the Blue Devils.
It's a roughing the passer call, and they're going to deny. They're going to deny the penalty. Interesting problem here with Sloan and Bennett. Here's Sloan right here, and he has a decision to make with Bennett. Bennett's going for all sorts of records, but Sloan in his first year will be probably 0-6, trailing 31-10. He has to make a decision on whether to open up the offense for Bennett, let him go for the records, or build for next year. Duke will be 0-6 at the end of today, and it's a tough decision.
Bennett with 139 yards through the air, declining the roughing the passer penalty. 1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. And that is Grayson, Mike Grayson, the senior, stopped by William Perry. And we have not been calling Perry's name very much in this ball game. That time he went to the outside to get a very quick and speedy Mike Grayson.
As outstanding as Perry is, Art, and I think you brought up a good point, his lateral movement has not been the greatest this year. He's tremendous in the middle, but he doesn't get outside very well. On that play, he did.
Robinson, Pickett, and Perry up front. Walls, the linebacker, sneaking in near the middle of that defensive front. Now he drops back. 31-10. Clemson on top of Duke. Back to pass is Bennett. He's got his man out of the backfield. It's Grayson, and Grayson is spilled after the first down. William Perry with a rush that time, and Eldridge Milton also coming in. 1st and 25 now for Duke. 10 minutes remaining, third quarter. 45th yard marched off against the Blue Devils. Number 14, then Bennett working out of the eye now. Everybody out in the pattern, and it goes to Grayson. Grayson trying to get to the outside, does so, and he goes out of bounds at the 39. He's run out of bounds by Ronald Watson, number 31. Robinson with good pressure that time on Bennett. Good pressure. Great defense by Clemson. As you look at Grayson, he had some running room, and there were some good blocks thrown for him. But that Grayson in the middle of your screen, number 27 now at the top of your screen, is a very, very quick back, and he was able to pick up a good chunk of yardage, even though the Clemson defense pursued, well, ferociously on that play. 2nd and 19 at the 39-yard line. That last play, they had both running backs in the pattern. No one back to block. Now they hold the fullback as the pass is complete to Grayson inside the 45-yard line. Mark it at the 44. We've seen the rifle from Bennett. There you saw the touch. He lofted the ball very softly to Grayson, who caught it and was immediately hit by Clemson. This time the linebacker, Keith Williams, staying close to Grayson all the way so he could not break it for the first down, because it's still a 3rd and 14 yards to go. Bennett now 159 through the air. Takes the big drop and lobs it long. He's got his man in the open. It is complete to Chuck Herring. Touchdown. Ron McSwain, I'm sure right now, is wondering, how in the world can I keep up with that young man? Herring, a sophomore from Springfield, Virginia, just sprint all the way to the goal line.
Well, Duke went short a couple of times. Remember I told you they weren't throwing anything short across the middle. They weren't throwing screens. They went to that, and then they came back with the play action and a post pattern by Herring. McSwain didn't have a chance. He was 10 yards ahead of him, and a perfect pass by Ben Bennett. And I might add, he didn't rifle that one either. He laid it up. We'll see it after the kick.
Ken Harper puts it up, and it is good. So a fine break for Duke now as they put points on the board here in the third quarter with 8:55 remaining to be played.
Let's take a look at the best thing that the Blue Devils do. Ben Bennett, long. And you don't need words to describe this one.
The 9th touchdown pass of the year for Bennett, Kevin. So with the score, Clemson 31, Duke 17. Will Iver and Mack in the backfield. That's Epley with the ball. He's got his man Williams at the 40-yard line. Good move as he slips through two tacklers, bobbles the ball, and Duke gets the fumble recovery at the 44-yard line. Darrell Brunson was the opportunist on the play.
You know what you say to Ray Williams on this play about fumbling? Nothing. Because this is gutsy football on Ray Williams' part. He's not a big player, a wide receiver, a freshman. Look at the effort from this kid. And look at the physical ability. He fumbles that ball, you forget about it because you don't want to put a damper on that type of an effort. A great effort, a good break for Duke. You can't blame Williams.
The man who made the actual tackle, Branyan, came off shaken up on the play. So Duke, another chance now with 5:03 remaining here in the third quarter, trailing Clemson 31-17. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the reverse type action to Grayson. Grayson tight ropes it for a while, goes out of bounds between the 48 and 49-yard lines. Chucky Richardson, the linebacker, 2-year Letterman Jr., pushing him out on the play.
Well, that was a great play. That thing, the way that was designed, it was beautiful. They had Grayson fake one way. They let Clemson's defense come across the center, and then they caved in behind him. That was like a reverse, and it worked very well. I bet you we see that in the fourth quarter.
Erickton and Tyrone Davis now checking in. McSwain not coming back into the ball game on a 2nd and 4 at the 49, and there goes Perry once again. Was he drawn off? Let's check.
That's a blitz, Art. I think they tried to time the count and they blitzed. They tried to time the count, and Bennett's a smart cookie. He's been behind the helm now for 4 years, and he knows just what to do. A little hesitation can cause the blitz a lot of problems.
There's Chucky Richardson and Perry on the right side.
Again, you have to give Ebinger and the entire Duke offensive line a lot of credit. It's hard to sit in there when those guys are coming and they have a free shot at you.
Ebinger might be all-American type talent at center, but he's also studying to be a doctor. Botello and Herring are your receivers. Clemson now has been penalized 102 yards in this ballgame, but they lead it 31-17. Bennett drops back to pass. Lobs one down the sideline, and he's got it bounced out of bounds hard as Grantham.
Well, okay, let's watch Grantham. Let's watch Grantham here. He stepped out of bounds. This should be an incompletion. Let's see if we can pick it up. On the right sideline, watch Grantham's outside foot, if we can pick it up. He's on the sideline.
Can't see it that time.
He's already come back in bounds, but I promise you, he stepped out of bounds. A perfect pass, and it was an inadvertent step. But if the referee had seen it, that play would have been disallowed. Instead, it's a 1st down on the Clemson 19.
Roy Brown covering on the play. We'll be back with more Clemson football after this word. 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Bennett has his troops ready now. Duke trailing, but anxious to get on the board once again. Bennett goes to the short man, and he's downed right at the 9-yard line. It's Grayson, Mike Grayson.
At the end of the half, I was going to tell a story about Sloan, the type of mentality and the feeling they had about Clemson. and Perry, who's been a big force in the center. Sloan was saying to the reporters in the paper this week that he had rented a Winnebago in practice to play Perry's position. To give you an idea about how big Perry is, 325 pounds.
8,050 yards through the air in his career right now for Bennett as Bennett fades back. He's got a man all in the open. He just catches it and hopes he doesn't trip over the goal line. It's Chuck Herring. Herring, his second touchdown pass reception in this ball game. And look out, the Blue Devils are back.
Interesting about that play, Ben Bennett had not rolled out the entire day. He not only rolled out, talk about ability, he rolled away from his arm. He rolled left. He's a right-hander and threw a perfect pass to a wide-open Chuck Herring. And Duke is within one touchdown.
So Bennett not only passes Thompson, Holman, and Marino in the all-time passing career yardage, he brings the Blue Devils back into this ball game. Harper's kick is up, and Harper's kick is good. With the score, Clemson 31, Duke 24. Beginning the final quarter of action, Clemson 31, Duke 24. It's a 3rd and 8 for the Tigers. Boyer and Alley, the wide receivers. Crucial 3rd down play. Flowers hit behind the line, breaks loose. 10-5, touchdown. What a great play by Flowers. Billy Smith hit him, number 56, and Flowers just kept right on going. That's determination, Kevin.
Well, it's just a great run by Flowers. I mean, Duke's defense has played really superbly compared to the way they played in the first half. The man was there. Smith was right there. Could have stopped him in the backfield. But Flowers, and we talked about the great leg drive and the power of the backs of Clemson, and he was able to break that tackle and go all the way down the sideline for really a tough blow for this Duke team. Now they're down by 13.
Flowers had 124 yards against Tech, and now he's gone for 107 yards in this ball game. Pollock's kick is up. Mr. Automatic is successful once again. Clemson 38-24. Now let's take a look at that fine touchdown effort by Flowers.
One of the problems with defenses that don't play that well is that if one guy makes a mistake, there's nobody to cover for him. Now look, as Smith misses the tackle, there's nobody else there. We have another guy misses, but he really wasn't in position. That was Walter Bryan that missed the second tackle, and then Flowers just powers in. A defense that reacts quickly and gets there, usually there's 3-4 players around and they can cover up for a missed tackle. Duke does not have that kind of depth. Clemson does.
Flowers doesn't look out. He might become the leading scorer on this Clemson Tiger team. 6 touchdowns. That includes 1 pass reception this year.
Well, Duke had no trouble moving the ball last time they had it. In fact, Bennett and the boys have heated up quite a bit, so we've got a ways to go. It's a 14-point difference, but most of the fourth quarter still remains.
Grantham and Atkinson are deep, ready to return, but so far they've been unable to. Igwe has been put in to the backside of the end zone or through the end zone every time. Donald comes forward. Goodbye.
I was a little right there, else you would have had 3 on that one, too.
He was trying for that photographer, Kevin.
Yeah. Well, they ought to make Donald kick off from the Frankfurter stand out there by the parking lot. And we'd have a run back.
There's the drive, as you see there, 63 yards in 3 plays, only taking 40 seconds, capped by Flowers' 35-yard run. Denton Hall into the lineup defensively, replacing the injured Rod McSwain. And Duke, trailing in this ball game, takes over at their 20-yard line. Lock in motion. Pitch back goes to Grayson. Grayson gets the big Perry rush. It was bounced out of bounds by the linebacker Keith Williams.
Well, that'll make you quicker. With William chasing you, you know you want to be quick. As fast as Grayson is, he got 3 steps faster on that and outran the defense. He would have been thrown for a bigger loss. As it turned out, it was a yard, but his quickness got him outside.
So we'll see if the run tries to set up a pass. Herring is going to the far side, and we've got Militello to the near side. Bennett has thrown for 268 yards so far in this ball game. He's got a 2nd and 12. Bennett fakes up the middle on the handoff. He's got a man in the open, but overshoots him. Militello.
Very well designed play. I'm impressed with the Duke offense, the way the plays are designed. They're very deceiving. And in fact, when Sloan was at Mississippi, although he didn't have a winning record at Mississippi, no less than Gil Brandt of the Dallas Cowboys said that Mississippi ran the most imaginative offense in the country that year. So he does have a mind for offense and will help Bennett with some of the plays he called.
So the ball comes back to the 18-yard line of Duke. It is now 3rd and 12. Bennett trying to pull him out this time. Perry on the rush, but the pass is completed to Militello. A nice over-the-middle catch by Militello, and Watson made sure that he went nowhere after the first down catch. At the 31-yard line, Duke, a very important 3rd down conversion.
Concentration is the key for any quarterback when you have those big guys bearing down on you, 260 to 300 pounds. You have to be able to stand in there, and I'm very impressed with Bennett's accuracy. He's able to stand in there. Tremendous accuracy on that pass. It had to be thrown exactly where it was for a completion. I
was impressed with Perry, too, because he looped and came around the right side that time, showing us a little lateral movement. 280 yards through the air for Bennett on the 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He's going deep now, and he's got the speedster underway. Overshoots Herring, Chuck Herring, who's already scored twice.
Chuck, number 4, making a name for himself today. He's given Vandell Arrington an awful time out there. Every time he gets one-on-one, he goes deep, and he's beaten him by quite a few yards. That ball, if it was a little shorter, might have been a touchdown.
Herring, number 4, is only a sophomore, 6'1", 185 pounds. McSwain comes back into the ball game now on a 2nd and 10 at the 31. Grayson and Grantham, the 2 running backs. Everyone's going out. Grantham, and he's tripped up. Nice play defensively at the 26-yard line.
It's Edgar Pickett, number 42, and you don't need to say anything about that. Just a great play. Laid out, got both hands on Grantham's feet and pulled him down. Just tremendous lateral movement, speed, and penetration for the play.
Known for his sacks last year, he's gaining a terrific reputation for loss of yardage in tackling in the backfield. Out of 30 tackles, he's had 5 for losses. Blunt and Grantham now the running backs. Blunt just as a blocker as he picks off the linebacker coming up. Intercepted. Tyrone Davis. Clemson takes over at the 29, make it the 24-yard line.
You remember I told you the ball was in the air a long time. Now watch Bennett as he looks over there. He takes a long time to deliver the ball, and the sideline is an extra player. Look how long the ball is in the air, and it's just no way, as Davis read it all the way. He knows he's got room on the sideline. He can force him out if he doesn't get the ball, if he somehow makes the catch. So he's able to come across and pick up the ball, and he heads for open field. All defensive players like to get their hands on the ball.
Blunt made the tackle. Pass was intended from Metello over the far side. So great field position, probably the best of the day for Clemson. Hand up the middle to Kevin Mack on the 1st down from the 24.
A lot of green grass between Mack and the Duke defense as the offensive line of Clemson, and they are tough. Cheatham and Clayton and Swing and Dunn and Farr, they just push back that defense.
Andrews and Ward making the tackle. 2nd and 6 at the 20. Mack is the running back. That's Williams in motion. Still 12:32 remains to be played. Fumble bounces into the air, but I think Clemson got it back again. I think Dunn popped on the ball, number 81.
Ball recovered by Clemson.
Take a look at this hit. Somebody scores right on the ball. If you can get your helmet or your arm right on the ball with some force, this type of thing happens. Let's watch Mack go into the hole. He's struggling for more yardage. And he just, well, I guess he just coughed it up. There was the hit, number 99 Alderman, but it was after Mack coughed the ball up. As the way it sprung loose, I thought it had been hit. He loses a yard, but he had gained 5 or 6 anyway. It'd be 3rd and short.
Looked like helmet-to-helmet popping there. Mack now with 141 yards in this ball game. It's a 3rd down, 2 yards to go for the 1st down. Stacy Driver gets the call and leans over close to that 1st down marker.
Off the left side.
Mark Mosley making the tackle. He's 5'10", 180-pound sophomore from Springfield, Illinois, and it's good enough for the 1st down.
We've said many times somebody had a premonition when they named this guy Driver. Look at him step outside, put his head down. That's a good hit by Mosley. But even though he lifts him off the ground, Driver still somehow manages to fall forward and pick up the first down.
Cheatham with a good pull block on that one. Coming from the right side to lead the blocking to the left side. 11:24 remaining third quarter. Clemson 38-24. Trying to secure some room between them and Duke. A bad pitch out, but Driver trying to get on the football and no control. It'll go back to Clemson at the 22-yard line.
Reaction, intensity, recognition. Look at Dan Fort saying, what's going on here? Those are the keys to defense. Look at Duke come up on Eppley. You want to run the option? This is what you get. Two guys, and it was the two guys that hit him, led by Alderman. The linebacker was #1 that caused him to get rid of the ball. And Eppley probably should have eaten that ball. He had no idea where the pitchback was, and he threw it out there anyway.
Not only that, but the trail man was covered. Now the Duke defense was looking for that type of play. That was obvious. 2nd and 19 at the 22-yard line. Stacy Driver stumbles, or he might have gotten some yardage through that hole.
Looked as if he tripped on his own there. Duke had the outside covered, but there was a hole inside, and Driver's eyes got big when he saw it, and his feet got tangled up.
We had Dunn with a terrific block to help pry open that hole.
The blocking, again, I think we touched on it last week with Virginia. The blocking for Clemson is just outstanding, awesome, and in some cases they just cave in a defense and they create huge holes.
Stacy Driver there. He's your tailback. Boyer and Williams, the wide receivers, on a 3rd and 18 at the 21. Driver. Close to the first down. He might not have got the first down if they mark it where his knee went out of bounds. Darrell Brunson to push him out there. Driver showing some terrific quickness. He'll be shy of a first down, so it'll be 4th and less than a yard.
We talked about Driver's power. Now let's take a look at his speed. He just outruns Darrell Brunson, who had an angle on him, and he's still able to turn up the field, and then gets a good hit by Jody Brannion there. Nice hit. They're able to drive him out of bounds before the first down.
If you were Danny Ford, would you call for a measurement?
Yeah.
I'm only kidding, because in the first half, for those of you who tuned in late, the official said, no, it's not a first down. They took a timeout like they're doing right now, and they took a measurement, and it turned out to be a first down. Driver now with 68 yards on 11 carries in this ball game.
I think the answer to that question before today would have been no. The answer, hence, will be yes.
Ball placement just inside the 5-yard line. 1 yard to go for the first down. 4 for the 6 points.
Have to figure, if I'm coaching, I have to say go for the field goal, because it gives you a 17-point lead, and that 2 8-point touchdowns, or a touchdown and 2-point conversion, can only get you within 1 point. So Duke would have to score 3 times. I don't know what Danny Ford's going to do, but I would go for the field goal. And of course,
that's why you're not coaching Clemson.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, immediately he goes for the first.
That's not why you're one of the most winningest coaches in college football.
I have a 500 record, however, which I might add is better than Steve Sloan's at this point.
4th down, 1. They're going to go for it, evidently. Driver and Mack. What is Duke looking for? They're looking for Mack.
They're looking for off tackle on the right.
Eppley. He's got the pass. He was out of the end zone. Done. That pass, even if he had caught the ball, I don't think would have been a completion, because he went out at the end line.
Well, we were
well-designed play, though,
yeah,
Kevin.
We were all looking for off tackle right, and they did have the guy who had contain on the weak side did not get sucked in, and that's what caused Eppley to throw the ball. It's a pass run option. He could have run the ball. Probably would have been tackled.
So with the score, Clemson 38, Duke 24. Let's pause for this word. Duke is getting the kind of ball game they need to win.
Well,
with the penalties against Clemson, and now the turnovers, 3 turnovers by Clemson. Green and Militello, wide receivers. Green is to the far side. Bennett hands it instead to Grayson. Grayson getting the corner, bounced out at the 24-yard line. That's a first down play. Ronald Watson finally ran him out. Duke now going wide on the Clemson Tigers.
Terrific block by Mike Higginbotham, one of a couple of twins, Higginbotham twins, that are both offensive linemen. Terrific block that gave him an extra 5 yards on the sideline.
You weren't kidding when you said a couple of sets of twins, because they do have 2 sets of twins on this Duke football team. Bennett back on the 1st and 10 at the 24. Very well poised toss that time to Grantham. Bennett was able to somehow keep his eye on the receiver against the pressure.
That's exactly right, Art. He backed out of the pocket, had his eye on the receiver waiting for him to clear, and he backed out of the pocket. He just simply took 2 steps back without looking away and made the completion. Ben Bennett, number 14. He talks a good game, but he plays a heck of a game, too. The guy's a very talented quarterback.
Suttle making the tackle in the last play. It'll be 2nd and 1 yard to go for the first down. They did not give him the first down. 1 yard shy, but on the carry, Blunt, the fullback, Joe LeBlanc. He's 6 feet tall, a hefty 195-pound senior, and before Walls can get to him, he gets that first down yardage. 7:19 on the clock.
It's time to get away from the play action. Time to stop with the running plays. If Duke wants to win this game, they're going to have to open up their offense and get a quick score, and everybody in the park knows it.
Bennett, the deep drop, gets the pressure, slips under the outstretched hands of Pickett, and then throws a poor pass out of bounds. In danger of a touchdown that time, as covering on the play for Clemson defensively was Ken Brown from Hartwell, Georgia.
Nice effort by Ben Bennett getting away from the rush. 26 for 41, 289. Again, he needs 290 yards a game to be the #1 passer in NCAA history. Has to average that throughout the year.
Clemson 38-24 with 6:57 on the clock. 2nd and 10 for Duke at the 36. Bennett on the down and out. He's got his man. Out of bounds at the 44, Chuck Herring. Herring made a terrific move as he took 1 step to the inside and then cut to the sideline.
Put Tyrone Davis right on the ground. You'll see Bennett here. They run play action. He's looking right at him. Watch Davis as you pick him up on the screen. See, he goes right down. It was either the fake or the footing, but whatever. It left Herring open on the sideline. Had he known, he could have turned upfield, made some more yardage.
Well, Herring's made some terrific plays in taking Tyrone the other way, so you can see why Tyrone wanted to protect the middle. 1st and 10 at the 44. Flanagan and Herring, the wide receivers. Bennett back to throw again. Throws too short for his receiver. Coming back on the play is Rick Reed, a sophomore tight end. Tim Childers right on Reed.
One of the responsibilities at quarterback, when you have the talent that this kid has, is to know when to throw the soft pass and when to throw the bullet. You don't lay the soft pass out across the field to the sideline. He did it on that play, and I think he might have had second thoughts as he was letting it go, and it fell short. You have to rifle that ball. You have to throw it as hard as you can to the receiver when you're going 20 or 30 yards across the field.
Duke 0-5 coming into this ball game, trying to make it close as they trail Clemson 38-24. Bennett already over 300 yards through the air, drops straight back, good blocking, goes for the short man, hit at the 40-yard line. Blunt, the fullback, his 2nd reception of the ball game, and he's met very hard by Milton. Milton protecting against first down yardage that time, secured him. There's your passing yardage, 313 yards through the air for Duke, and a respectable 131 for Clemson. A power ground game they've had. 131 yards through the air is pretty good.
Well, Bennett only had, he had very few yards in the first quarter, so he's been on since then.
Something like 24, I think, if I remember correctly, through the air in the first quarter. Bennett now on a 3rd and 6 at the 40. He's got his man in the open. Grantham had his knee down on the catch. That's not before he gets a first down at the 29-yard line. Mike Grayson making the catch.
Grayson goes up to the wing. He's running out of the wing with Blunt, the single back in the backfield. He's wide open all the way. And Bennett threw that ball before Grayson even turned around. Mike made an error there by putting his knee down to catch the ball. Again, had he known he was wide open, he probably would have stayed on his feet.
Bennett back to throw again. He's got his man down at the 14-yard line. It's Flanagan this time. Correction. Militello. When that flak jacket moves those numbers up, looked like
Yeah. Should we ask him to take it off? He probably sleeps in the thing now.
With a couple of cracked vertebrae, he's done a beautiful job in this ball game. 335 yards through the air for Bennett as he approaches the line of scrimmage at a 1st and 10 at the 14. 5:23 remaining. They put their offense in gear, Kevin, just when you said they had to. The fake pitch. He's got the safety valve over there in the open if he can get it to him. Grayson. Grayson cuts in. Look out. Touchdown. What a great move by Grayson, and he had the safety valve out there all along. He knew it. When he got into trouble, he looked over there, got the ball to him, and what a great cutback against the grain for Grayson. 2
outstanding plays there, and we'll show a replay after the kick, Art. But there were 2 outstanding plays. Bennett finding Grayson under pressure, was able to find him, and then Grayson, you see him going half speed, picking his holes and getting into the end zone, and we'll show you both of those in just a sec.
The extra point try is up, and it is good. Look out, still with 5:05 remaining. The pressure by Jeff Wells on the play just wasn't enough on Bennett as he gets the ball away. Watch Wells come in and give him all kinds of havoc.
Let's take a look at Ben here. Talk about poise. I mean, this kid has got poise, and now he sees Grayson. He gets it out to Grayson. Watch Grayson. Now, he's not going full speed. He's just picking his holes. Let the defense overrun him again. See 6 or 7 guys overrun him. Now he sees the hole he wants. He puts his head down, and yeah, there's room for a little guy in this game. You better believe it.
And you got to credit the offensive lineman for being at the right position at the right time with the score. Clemson 38, Duke 31. This is our with Kevin Kiley from Durham, North Carolina. With the score, 38-31, Clemson over Duke with 3 minutes, 21 seconds remaining to be played in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Bennett gets the pass away. Nice reception at the 42-yard line. Grantham on the reception. It was all he could do was just to grab the ball, and it's a nice 5-yard gain.
It was
trailing only by 7.
Excuse me, Art. It was all Bennett could do to get it away. The pocket closed in around him. He had but a foot of room in there.
Bennett has thrown for 354 yards, and most of that yardage in the last 3 quarters. Should have a yellow hanky on that one. Bennett goes back, and he's taken down to the turf by Perry, and we've got another penalty flag on Perry.
It's going to be a big one here, Art.
Roughly handling the quarterback, and you just don't need careless play like that in a situation where you're trailing only by 7 points with 2:44 remaining in the game.
Got 2 penalties now. You got a personal foul, and appears, well, he was talking to Pickett. Talking to Pickett here. You got a personal foul, and I thought another penalty against Clemson. We'll wait for the call, but it's going to go against Clemson, I'm sure.
Looked like it might have been an offside penalty on the initial flag. Let's replay this action.
There's Perry right in the face.
Coming down with a lumberjack hatchet, I think, was what he got called for, not actually hitting the passer after he let go of the ball, because that was not the case.
Your life could flash before your eyes with William Perry bearing down on you.
137 yards in penalties. There you see it. 18 called against Clemson, only 4 against Duke for 45 yards, and they're on the move at the 44. 1st and 10. Making a great ball game of this contest between Clemson and Duke. The Blue Devils now trailing by 7. Bennett hands off to that tailback once again. Grayson's got great quickness, and what a tackle on the outside by Tyrone Davis. A game-tying, saving tackle right there as he got a hand on the ankles.
Clemson has a great defense. They're extremely aggressive. Turn it against them. They're all getting penetration there. They go to the draw with Grayson. Lots of room, and he's a head and a shoulder away from a touchdown.
At the 26-yard line, the ball is being marked. 1st and 10 now for Duke. They bring Herring to the near side. Militello's to the far side. Fans are going crazy. Bennett got his man, but he overshoots the tight end, Russell Scott.
Again, he threw that wide pass, the same pattern, and he kind of lofted it across the field. Got to be careful with that. When Ben knows he made a mistake there, he had a man open.
Boy, would Childers have loved to pick that off and go all the way right now with 2:11 remaining in the contest. Childers goes out of the ball game. Jeff Suttle comes in for Clemson on a 2nd and 10 at the 26. Bennett, straight drop back. Good protection. And before he gets popped by Devane, he gets it away to the 17, I should say, yes, the 17-yard line. Grayson, a very fine catch, but Bennett really got hit hard by Devane.
Short of the first down, Art. Keep an eye on Ben Bennett's head on this call. It's a very big play. They need short yardage, and it's worked all day. Bennett staggered the count. Let's see if he tries it again.
How good is that Clemson defense now? 3rd down, 2 yards to go. Crucial situation. 1:40 remaining 4th quarter. Bennett swings it back to Grayson. Grayson out of bounds. They're going to mark it inside the 15. It'll be a 1st down. Chucky Richardson there to finally get him out of bounds. But not before a very important 1st down, as you said, Kevin.
Ebinger, Miller, Beckett, they go to the left. They like to run to the short side of the field. They've done it all day, and they give it to their leading ground gainer and receiver, Grayson. He's quick enough to make the yardage. 1st down.
Ray Brown, the 250-pound senior, just couldn't quite get to that speedster in time. It's Herring to the far side. Militello to the near side with 1:32 now on the clock. Duke wants to tie this ball game, maybe go for a 2-pointer to try to break it. Bennett a quick toss to Militello, complete inside the 10-yard line. They'll mark it at the 9. Bennett got popped again that time. He might need a flak jacket after this game.
The Tigers were in the starting blocks on that one. Their entire defense was coming, and it looked like they almost beat the snap.
Williams and Richardson out of the game as linebackers. 367 yards through the air. Timeout is called on the field. With 1:16 remaining in the ball game, Clemson up by 7. Second and 5. The fans are on their feet right now, that's for sure. Clemson hoping they can hold. The Duke fans, of course, hoping for a score. Bennett looks back. Can't find anybody. Lets it go to Grayson. Grayson hit immediately. Fine defense that time by the Rover. Berlin had the great pressure on Bennett. We'll see here, Kevin.
You want to see great defense? Watch Clemson. Fake to the play action man. They have him covered. They have that side covered. They get pressure on Bennett, and they've got Grayson covered, too. They've got everybody covered, and it's an incompletion. That's just tremendous pressure defense.
244 yards worth of completions for Bennett here in the 2nd half alone. He only had 123 yards in the 1st half. Only, I say. Militello to the far side. Herring is to the near side. 38-31. Clemson by 7. 1:11 on the clock. It's a 3rd and 5. Herring in the motion. Rolling into the coverage by Berlin, and he throws it away wisely. Triple team over on the far side. We almost could have had a penalty called after they went out of bounds.
The orange blanket, Art. They threw the orange blanket over Duke on that one. Perry and more pressure. Perry and Berlin coming in up the middle, putting pressure on Bennett. A lot of poise by that guy, though. The game's on the line, and he has enough confidence, even with 4th down coming up, to toss it out of bounds and give himself another shot.
Or with a 3rd and 5. Now they got a 4th and 5. Wouldn't you love to have a Dave Casper in this lineup right now?
Moses Malone. How that would be a good one. Kind of lofted up there.
But it's up to the Clemson defense now. Can they do it again? Devane at nose guard. Bennett looking. Gets the pass deflected. I believe it was by James Robinson, the 6'5" left tackle. Got his hands in the air to knock the ball down. The Clemson defense held. Devane and Robinson really plugging up that middle.
Devane in there, too, and that play was designed to go to Grayson at the goal line, and Grayson hadn't even turned around yet. He was about to hook in. Bennett was looking for him, but the Clemson defense is there. Watch the top of your screen, number 83. He's met at the line of scrimmage. A good block there as they hold him up. But what you do, when you get held up, put those arms up. That's what they teach you. Robinson's well taught by a great coaching staff. And the difference in this game might be his hands. The fact that he got him up.
367 yards through the air, but the Clemson defense bats it down at the right time. That was Justin Beckett out of Boston, Massachusetts, who was trying to block on the play.
Blue Devils, no rest for the weary. They've got Maryland next week, Georgia Tech after that, then Wake Forest, NC State, and they end up with North Carolina.
Epley takes the snap, covers up the football, and of course, Clemson will be hosting North Carolina State next weekend. The countdown begins. The more than 7,000 Clemson fans on the far side. Look at the scoreboard. That's all she wrote. From Durham, North Carolina, Clemson 38-31 over Duke. Duke making an interesting game of it. Coming up and making it close as Clemson takes a 7-point victory, 38-31 over the Duke Blue Devils. Art Ekman for Kevin Kiley saying thank you for being with us on this great afternoon for football. This is USA's College Football 83.